Hello, my name is Jean-Christophe, and in this beginner Python tutorial, we will learn about Python variables. Variables are containers that store data values. So if you've done algebra before, you will understand simple things like you can assign a variable by doing x equal 10, for instance. But we can go deeper by assigning different data type by saying hello. So if you do, so the way to assign a variable is you take the variable name, then you assign the equal sign, and you provide whatever you want. So now we can print x and y, and if we run this cell, we will see that we have printed both. So if we reassign those two and just so it's clearer, and we look at the data type, then we can print type x, and then we print type y. So what we will see is that the data type that was stored is an integer first and then a string. And we can also reassign variables. So for instance, uh, we can have x equal 1 and then print type x, and we can have x. So if we do this and we run this, then we have the class integer. But if we come back here and we do x equal hello, then we can print type x. And if we look at this time, what happens is we came from an integer to a string by reassigning the variable simply by saying x equal. We can also cast variables. So if we do x equal 3, then it's supposed to be storing an integer. But if we do string x, then we look at the type of x, and then we will see that x is now a string. So there are other things, ways to type an x. So if we look at x, if we print x right here, then we see x is 3 between quotes. So if we do int x, then it becomes an integer. We can do float x, and then it becomes 3.0. So this is interesting, and we can use it simply. And the other thing I want to say about variables is naming variables. So first, your variables should be short and descriptive. You don't want to have like that variable super long that says nothing. What you want to do is you want to have a variable that works well. However, it cannot start with a number. So if you say bed variable, then it will throw an error. So what you want to do, you could do instead AB2 and then good variable. Then if you look at this, it will work. It is case sensitive. One thing that you need to know is, so if you name variable equal 1 and then you do variable equal 2 and you want to look if those two variables are equal, then you will find out that they are not equal. So you need to have always the same casing. So the best way to do this is you can either use the camel case. This is often used in JavaScript, camel case. Uh, my favorite option is to use the snake case, with underscore, and then you can call that snake case. So those two work. I would say if you choose one, just keep the same formatting across your code so you make more beautiful code. Now, if we want to assign multiple variable, we can. So we can do x, y equal 1, 2, 1, 2. So this we can print x and y, and we will see that this will work. You can also assign multiple variable using a single value. So you can do x, y, z. Oh no, not this way. So you do x equal y equals z, and then you do equal 1, and then you print x, y, z. So you can see that it works. And one other thing you can do to assign variable is if you have a list, or you can unpack it. So if you say x equal 1, 2, 3, let's call that ls equal 1 through 3, then what you can do is you can do x, y, z equal ls. And then what this will happen is if we print x, y, z, what will happen is we'll see that each value of the list was assigned to its own variable. Now let's go a bit deeper. I know we haven't seen much about about functions yet, but essentially what a function does is you could have x equal hello, and you could create a function by using the def keyword and say something, and then you could say print x. So what you do is when you run this function, it will print the variable that you've decided to print. So this is what the function does is you've decided to print from the global variable. So this is called a global variable because it was created outside the function. However, you can do other things. You can create the variables outside, and then you can go again and say something, but instead you can create again this with the same name. You could say I am inside. So you can define the variable inside the function even if the global variable was created. So what you could do is you could say print x. So when x is not running the function, then what x is, and then you can say something with the variable. So what you'll see here is although we've created a global variable, when we print x without running the function, we are showing hello. But when we say something, so when we're using the function, then we're using the variable that was created inside the function. So this is a conclusion of Python variables, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.